We last see Asajj Ventress in the Season 5 final of the Clone Wars, so what happened to her afterwards? Her story continues in the book Dark Disciple. After helping Ahsoka Tano prove her innocence over the bombing of the Jedi Temple, Ventress left Coruscant and went to live in a modified gunship and continued her bounty hunting business. During this time, she grew out her hair and obtained a yellow lightsaber from the black market to replace her two red lightsabers she lost on Coruscant. As a bounty hunter, she made a name for herself and became familiar with many of the galaxy's famous underworld figures. She befriended a pirate named Lassa Rhaim, after helping her steal precious cargo from Hondo's gang. Rhaim offered Ventress to be in her pirate crew, but Ventress refused, saying to her that she preferred to live and work alone. She later took up a bounty that required her to capture a Vulpix by the name of Morgai. As she was tracking him down, she bumped into Quinlan Vos, who was disguised as a bounty hunter. Unknown to Ventress, Vos was in fact a Jedi Master who had been assigned by the Jedi Council to go undercover as a bounty hunter and gain Ventress's trust. His ultimate goal was to assassinate Count Dooku, and he believed that partnering up with Ventress would help him because she was familiar with Count Dooku due to her previous service to him. She initially disliked him, but let him help her hunt her bounty. The two of them eventually captured Morgai and split the money. Afterwards, Vos insisted a partnership with Ventress. She reluctantly accepted the offer due to his impressive skills and also because she was attracted to him. The two of them took on many bounty hunter jobs, including jobs from Rhaim and the Pike Syndicate. Over time, they grew feelings for each other, but kept their affections to themselves. Vos, overcome with his feelings for Ventress, eventually told Ventress that he was indeed a Jedi, and that he was on a mission to assassinate Count Dooku. To his surprise, Ventress already knew, citing his unnatural agility and combat abilities. She agreed to help him by training him in the darker aspects of the Force, so that the two of them could stand a better chance against Count Dooku. She took him to Dathomir, her homeworld, and a planet full of energies of the dark side. Upon their arrival, they witnessed the skeletal remains of the Night Sister massacre carried out by General Grievous about a year before. There, the two of them exchanged their life stories. She told him about her enslavement and the loss of her Jedi Master, Kai Narek, and how they led her to the path of the dark side. He, too, told her about how he had lost his master, who went by the name of Thulm. Even though Ventress was the one who killed Thulm, she told him that it was Count Dooku who had killed him. During the training, Ventress trained Vos in the teachings and the culture of the Night Sisters' use of the dark side of the Force. She had him kill innocent animals with the Force, and use the dark side to control beasts, train in aggressive lightsaber combat, and to use his hatred when performing the Force. As the training went on, they revealed their feelings for one another and fell in love. Vos declared that after the assassination was done, he would not return to the Jedi, and would instead commit himself to Ventress. Ventress eventually received information on Dooku's whereabouts from her contact, who is still a part of the Confederacy of Independent Systems. She told Ventress that Count Dooku was going to soon visit the separatist capital world of Raxus to attend a ceremony. The two of them made their way to Raxus, where they disguised themselves and were able to get close enough to Count Dooku to confront him. They confronted him in a 2-to-1 duel. However, Grievous soon joined the fight and tipped the fight in favor of Dooku. Ventress and Vos were overwhelmed by both foes and incoming droid forces. Ventress was forced to escape, leaving Vos to be captured by Count Dooku. Ventress swore to herself that she would rescue him. Meanwhile, Vos embraced the full power of the dark side, believing Ventress set him up to fail the whole time. Ventress knew Dooku would take Vos to his palace on Sereno for imprisonment, and that she needed help rescuing him. She got the help of Boba Fett, Bossk, Razai, C-21, Highsinger, and Embo, after negotiating to pay them 250,000 credits for the rescue mission. They arrived on Sereno on Boba Fett's ship, Slave One. There, the bounty hunters acted as a distraction for the palace droid security forces while Ventress snuck inside the palace to find Voss. She eventually found him broken from being tortured by Dooku. When Voss sensed her, he attacked her, calling her a liar and a manipulator. He found out that it was her who killed his master Thulm, not Dooku. As they fought each other, they made their way out of the palace where they could see the bounty hunters fighting Dooku. Voss attempted to aid Dooku in his fight, and that was when Ventress knew that Voss not only embraced the dark side, but he joined the Sith Order itself. Ventress and the bounty hunters barely escaped the failed rescue mission. Still wishing to rescue Voss, and having no other options left, Ventress decided to reach out to the Jedi. She contacted Obi-Wan and met him at a bar on Coruscant. There, she told him what happened to Voss. Afterwards, the two parted ways, and Ventress went back to work as a bounty hunter. She returned to live on Coruscant, on level 1313. There, she fell into a deep depression, worsened by alcoholism and severe insomnia. She was haunted by thoughts of Voss, who had become Count Dooku's new right-hand man, with the new name Admiral Enigma. She later met Akar Deshu, a Jedi Knight and close friend of Voss, who sought out Ventress in order to have her help to get Voss back. She agreed and followed the Jedi Knight back to the Jedi Temple. There she went before the Jedi Council, where Yoda gave her a mission to help Anakin and Obi-Wan capture and redeem Voss. She accepted, wanting to get her lover back, and also because Yoda promised to officially pardon her of all her past crimes. Ventress and the two Jedi would eventually land on Dooku's Providence-class dreadnought, where they believed they would find Voss. There they confronted Dooku and discovered that Voss was still a prisoner, and that he never actually joined Dooku. They rescued Voss and escaped Dooku's dreadnought. They made it back to the Jedi Temple, where Ventress was pardoned for her past crimes, and Voss rejoined the Jedi. Unknown to the Jedi, Voss was still under the influence of the dark side. However, Yoda suspected this and decided to test Voss's allegiance by sending him once again on a mission to assassinate Count Dooku. Voss was able to convince Ventress to join him on this mission, and she accepted. He gave her forgiveness over killing his master, and told her he still loved her. During the mission, they tracked Dooku to Christophsis, where they confronted him once more. They were overwhelmed, and Ventress sacrificed herself to save Voss from a lethal blast of Force lightning from Dooku. Seeing his lover killed, Voss defeated Dooku. As he did, he felt a sense of clarity and spared Dooku's life. Voss then attended to Ventress, who then died in his arms. Dooku escaped, and Voss was brought back into the Jedi Order after attending a hearing with the Jedi Council. They let him back in after admitting that sending him on a mission to assassinate Dooku was not the Jedi way in the first place, and felt some of the blame for Voss turning to the dark side was on them. Both Voss and Obi-Wan attended Ventress's funeral on Dathomir, where she was buried in the traditional way of her people. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. And as always, may the Force be with you.